Nirvana in their version of The Man Who Sold the World, the David Bowie tune.
Yeah,
good tune. Taken from that new Nirvana compilation.
I like that version, I like the David Bowie version.
You can't decide, can you, Rick? You're torn.
In fact, I like the Lulu version as well.
Is there a Lulu version?
Maybe we should play that one week. Yeah.
Was this recorded, what, in the 70s?
I think she recorded it about the same time as David Bowie. I don't know if he released it as a single. I think it was just off the album.
Interesting.
Carl is studying. Okay, what's the next one? What's the educating wiki?
I don't know, see, like I say, I was looking around and there's stuff that is interesting. Right, I was looking on the web.
But there's no point.
Well, it's just that I found one about,
what's the point?
About a lad who, 8 years old, but he's still breastfed. Now, I don't know if you can get anything out of
that. Is that what his mum said? So, what do you mean I don't know if I can get anything out of that? You don't need to.
No, it's just that, you know...
Where did you read that?
That was on the internet.
Oh, well, yeah.
You're always unspecific when you mention it. It's just it was on the internet.
Well, I'm trying to think what I put in. I think I put in Y to see if I'd confuse the computer.
And then, Carl, you are...
No, I did
honestly.
I did a search, put in Y, and he came up with funny things that, like, why is this person doing that, why is that... And it had a picture of this 8-year-old lad, sort of, you know, on his mum's nipple. And, it was saying, you know, is this healthy?
You sure that wasn't asking you that question?
What? I put in Y to confuse the computer. Like the computer go, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Stop it!
Yeah.
Oh, look, last week, I was walking, home with him, and I went, he was saying something stupid, and I went, I've got a competition for next week, let's do a phone-in, and it's called Karl Pilkington, Genius or Fool.
Yeah.
Right? And he went, no. I went, why not? He went, well, they'd be confusing, because they say there's no difference between genius and being a fool.
You do that, don't you?
No, but it's rubbish, and people say there's a fine line between madness and genius, and, you know, it's a ridiculous soundbite. They don't say there's a fine line between genius and an idiot.
Well, the people who do are idiots.
yeah.
So what would you do there, though, just to sort of wrap that little thing up? What would you do? That lad loves his mum's milk.
What are you asking me to come up with?
No, I'm just...
A title for the story?
No, it's just what would you do? Right.
What do you mean, what would I do?
Well, it's causing a bit of a problem in the area, right?
What area?
In America, I think it was.
Oh, America are a problem, are they? George Bush is worried about this kid who's breastfeeding at 8.
Imagine it like this, right?
Right. No, so, Carl, what are you asking me? About this spurious story you saw on the internet.
I saw it on the internet. There's an 8-year-old lad, he likes his mum's milk, and it's saying, is this right? Should it
No, it's not.
On?
But what
do you want Ricky to do about it? It's not his responsibility.
yeah.
No, but the little town that he lives in, they're all causing an uproar, right? Going, this isn't right, you know, I can't let my kid play out in case he's in the garden with his mum getting a bit hungry. Right? So, what should they do? Because his mum's saying, well, he likes it.
Yeah.
And he, you know, so what do you do?
I don't know the laws.
No, but I'm not asking you to sort out the laws, I'm just saying, if you lived in that neighbourhood, what would you say, if you went up to him and said, look, everyone's getting a bit fed up with this, look.
I'd say, what would I do? What do you mean, what would I do? what are you asking me?
Right, it doesn't matter.
No, what are you asking me? What are you asking me and Steve and the public?
I'm just saying, say if you live next door to this woman.
Yeah.
Right? The kid's hungry, 8 years old, he's out playing on his bike and he goes, Mum, I'm getting a bit peckish, and he goes, alright son. She whops one out. And he starts having his milk, right? You live next door, you're putting your washing out, and you see this going on. You're getting a bit sick of it, because it's gone on for months.
8 years, I suppose.
Why is it your business? Why are you such a nosy neighbour that you're concerned?
What would you do, Carl? Let's turn it back on him. What would you do?
What's your solution?
What would you do?
Well, I thought I'd say, right, why are you doing this? And she'd say, because he likes it. And I go, alright then, put it in a bowl first.
And you think that would sort that out?
No, because I was thinking about the whole thing, right? And you do that when you're a baby, and everything's all right, innit?
Yeah.
No one bats an eyelid at a little baby having a bit of milk from its mum's breast, right?
Yeah.
You'd almost say it was natural.
But you grow out of it. It's like you don't see. It got me thinking about things you don't see, and you don't see.
Did you put this into a computer? Show me things you don't see.
What else don't you see?
Well, you don't see like an old man having a Twix. You never.
Oh!
So what?
You know the terrible thing about all this, Steve, is he's right.
You don't see an old man
I
eating a
know,
Twix.
that's a terrible thing.
So what they have got, right, they've made old man toffees, haven't they? They've come up with Werther's.
Is that a song? Oh God! You don't see it.
No, listen now. So they've got their Werther's, right?
Yeah.
So,
look at him! You think he's giving a lecture at Oxford?
It's not going anywhere.
No, go on, sorry. Go on.
I'm just saying,
right.
you grow out of things.
Yeah.
And the old man, I'm sure when he was a kid, he'd have a Twix.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't look right, so he's having...
It doesn't look right!
So...
Right.
I don't think Werther's originals were specially designed for old people. I think they were sweets that just happened to have been made for years. That's why old people eat them.
Yeah.
They didn't go, hang on, there's a market here. I've noticed old people aren't eating Twixes. Quick, let's make some old man sweets.
But the little advert, he gives it to his grandson as well, doesn't he? He goes, I have a Werther's original.
Oh, I think it cuts though before he throws it back in his face and goes, get me a Twix. And a damn curly-whirly, Grandad, you old fool.
Electric 6, Danger, High Voltage on XFM, 104.9. Sums up the show. Danger, High Voltage. Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Bircham, and the amazing Karl Pilkington. So, other things you don't see, Karl? Got any other ones, or you obviously been thinking about this? What confuses you? When you look out your window, what confuses you with the world? What do you walk around going, oh, that's a bit weird? I remember, when you were in, Edinburgh, you were confused because you saw someone putting a parking ticket on some rubbish, which confused you.
Yeah. That was weird.
Yeah.
The world's a crazy place, isn't it? I mean, whatever you look at, you can... Do you know what I mean?
Like what? Like what?
Oh, anything. I mean, you could look out the window there and you'll see something. You go, why are they doing that?
Yeah.
What are they doing that for?
Yeah.
I'd say this maybe we should bring back White Van Karl. There's some interesting questions this week, Rick.
Yeah.
We could pull that out of the bag if you.
Shall we do that?
Just get Karl's take on the world's.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'll tell you what. We'll do that in a second. Let's have another educating Ricky because I think you got sidetracked with your talk of.
Well, just the other thing on things you don't see. Look at the way when I went to school, there was 2 kids with them big heads. Now.
You don't
never see them.
Sure.
Yeah, but no one else saw them anyway, Karl. It was only you that saw 2 of them, not related, and wouldn't hang around with each other because you think they thought it would be too obvious. Webbed fingers and big heads. That's amazing.
And there was a kid with a pigeon chest. So.
Oh yeah, and the lady with the head like a bag of spuds.
Let's not go through these again. It just raises too many questions that can't be answered.
Yeah.
Right then. So we've got we'll have a big fire tomorrow.
Yeah, go on.
Is that the one you want?
Let's go for it.
Right. I think this was like round the 1700s.
Bluffing.
And
just bluffing.
Who was the king then?
Go on.
But it's about the word bonfire, right? Bonfire.
Yeah.
Do you know where it comes from?
No, go on. No.
Right, what happened is it's got nothing to do with Guy Fawkes and that, which is what I thought when I saw it. It's got nothing to do with that. But ages ago, at 1700s, they didn't have enough houses, like I mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if that happens, you get people living on the streets. You get diseases, people aren't cleaning properly. So you get more deaths. All right.
Yeah.
So think about it. You've got all these dead bodies lying around. They're running out of space because there's like I don't know why they're running out of space, but okay. they haven't got much. I don't know why really. I was going to say they should have just buried them, but there's probably more land back then than now. Think about it.
He doesn't need anyone else in the room to have a conversation with himself. Yeah, we could leave and we'd come back and he'd go, I've sorted it. Yeah.
But anyway, for some reason...
they presumably, if it's going to be they burnt them, it's presumably to do that it also kills the parasite or whatever's carrying the parasite on them, as opposed to burying them and not killing the disease.
Well, yeah. So that's that. There you go. You've worked it out. They piled them up and they turned it into a celebration because there was a lot of fed up people at that time.
Is this to be the word bon, meaning good?
No. I'll tell you in a minute.
Go on.
So you've got all these people who are like going around and like, oh, you know, so and so died the other day, and you know, nearly every week someone they knew was dying. So you can imagine like just constant like being depressed. So, and they've got all these bodies lying everywhere. It's like, oh god, what are we gonna do? So they said, we're all too fed up at the moment. Said, let's make this a better world.
This was 1701 by the time they got together.
So they said, what we need to do is have a big party. So they said, yeah.
Good thinking.
See what you're thinking. So they go, right, well, we'll put all the bodies in a big pile. And they're all diseased and that, so they set fire to the bodies, and they said, let's have this as a celebration to remember them by, and you know, we'll have a drink and that, and have a chat. We'll have this big fire going, and it came from bone fire.
Ah, right.
So it was all the bones. Bonfire is bone fire.
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
So that's how it came about.
Yeah, in the 1700s.
Yeah,
that was.
No, probably. I reckon it was 1600.
Probably earlier.
I reckon it was the plague. I reckon it came from.
But interesting stuff. Interesting.
So that's.
Did you celebrate Bonfire Night? Is that a big celebration for you? Do you like the fireworks? I'm sick of fireworks. I just think they're rubbish.
I'm not impressed.
I've never been impressed by fireworks. Even as a kid, you know, you have to go to like sort of community kind of gatherings with a bonfire and fireworks, and some local vicar or whatever would come out.
But I also think the adults think the kids love it, and if they just got together and said, "Should we go this year?" They'd all go, "No."
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's not go this year.
What would be better is if the vicar had wheeled out like a massive rocket, climbed in, gone last one to the moon as a bender, and then fired himself off. Now that, I'd pay to see. That's a firework display I'd like to see. As it is, it's just rubbish.
Dear.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
Cole?
Yeah, I'm not keen.
No.
Sorry, what clue was that?
We'll have a big fire tomorrow.
Bone marrow. Bone marrow. Genius. Let's play the record.
Oh, God!
What sound or noise do you hate?
As me, or as a worm?
I don't know what you mean. What do you mean?
Why would we be asking a worm?
I've never heard an actor say that to James Lipton. When he says, what noise do you hate? What, as me or a worm?
No, but all I'm saying is, because of my last question, that's what I was saying. A bird noise is relaxing to me.
Right.
Well, it's not anymore, because I think of all the deaths and stuff that go around that.
So now you hate the sound of birds?
I'm just saying it's changed my view on it. It's like anything, isn't it? Every noise can mean a disaster.
Can it? Why would the sound of laughter, people laughing, why would that also signify disaster?
If you wake up in the night by the sound of, like, a baby laughing. No, if I had a baby, right, and Suzanne was out, she'd work nights or something, and I'd nodded off, I'd put the baby to sleep, and then it's 3 in the morning, and I'm woken up by the sound of a baby laughing, that would terrify me.
How is this? I just think the baby's sitting up in a chair like Chucky, going.
Well, no, I think the baby's reading his diary. Thinking, oh Christ, this is my father. I just hope I'm adopted.
Oh, God! A baby laughing!
So I went and had it and stuff, but you had to, before you sort of said, right, I want this doctor, they give you loads of forms to fill out, right? And one of the things they did was, if you die, what do you want to give away? Right? Like a donor. And what have you, and I thought, I really thought about it for 40 minutes or so. I didn't just rush into it. I was sat there thinking, you know, if I'm dead, does it matter and stuff? But I was really concerned when it said about the eyes.
Right. Why? What do you mean? What? Because can they have your eyes after you die?
It was. I think it was 4th on the list.
Why do you care about giving your eyes away when you're dead?
Just because of that thing of, you know, we don't know for sure yet. I know that you poo-poo it, but the afterlife thing.
So why, in an afterlife, would you want your eyes more than your liver and your kidneys and your lungs and your heart?
Because ghosts don't eat, do they? So you don't need all your liver and your kidneys and stuff, because they're only there to sort your food out. But your eyes, if you're a ghost, I don't want to be a blind ghost. Because you're around forever then, aren't you? Once you're a ghost, that's it. So the idea of being blind when you're alive, you go, well, alright, then maybe in the afterlife I might be treated to a pair of eyes. But the fact of wandering about, dead for years, bumping into stuff...
Oh, God! Oh, it's amazing!
So,
oh, that's an amazing image!
So I didn't tick that box.
but why? I don't understand. In your theory of the afterlife, why is it that this ghostly Carl, why can he survive without a heart, but he can't survive without eyes? Why? Do you see what I mean? Surely, if you're this ghostly apparition, you can just see everything and you can do everything. You don't need the body.
No,
because you're a ghost.
Yeah, I know, but I think when you're a ghost. Say, like how they've seen ghosts in,
Right, could I just say now for any listeners, this is not the thoughts and beliefs of the management. There is no such thing as ghosts. I do not believe in ghosts. I do not believe in ESP or any mumbo-jumbo. Carry on, Carl. So when there's a ghost, yeah.
When they see ghosts in, like, old castles and stuff.
Yeah.
They've had their head cut off because they've been up to no good, right, years ago.
But they're carrying it around normally under their arm.
That's what I'm saying. It hasn't reattached itself. So if you take the eyes out...
But Carl, how is this ghostly creature able to function? It doesn't have its head on anyway. It's carrying it under its arm, so the suspicion is it doesn't need its head.
No, it does.
It just happens to be carrying it around because it wants to keep it with it.
The ghost is always in the last condition that it was in when it was in...
Who makes these rules?
The way you are in your last bit of life is how you are as a ghost forever, even in the fashion. Like I say, the ghosts that you see never wear modern clothes, so it's always the Victorian stuff. Now, if they could change it, they would, but they can't because they're stuck with it, so that's
why did you see cavemen ghosts? When did ghosts start? They didn't kick in till about 1830, did they? What if you die when you're having a rectal examination? Are you always bent forward with your trousers around your ankles and someone's finger up your arse?
But why would you die when you're having that done? That's why I'm not having it done, if that's...
No, but you might have both been suddenly, killed in a terrible disaster.
Yeah, a meteorite hit you.
That's when you get the moaning ghosts, isn't it? They're the ones who aren't happy.
So you're going round, bent forward, you've got a doctor's finger up your arse, and what are you doing?
You're sort of going, oh... And that's when you have to get the vicar round.
What do you mean?
Because they have to put you to rest and what have you, don't they?
And what does a vicar do when he's going? So I get the vicar round. It's years later. It's 100 years later. You're around this doctor's surgery, and there's people coming, and the new doctor there, and it's 2073, and they go, Vicar. They go, Vicar, there's a strange ghostly apparition. It looks like an old doctor, right, and he's got his fingers up this sort of like little... It's like a chimpanzee, but with a shaved head.
No, but the doctor wouldn't be... Are you saying the doctor dies as well?
Yeah, you both die. You die at the same time with his finger up your arse. And so you're forever having a little rectal examination with your little trousers around your ankles.
Well, that's when it'd be best not to have your eyes. 13, you're a teenager then, aren't you? Life got tough.
Yeah, how did it get tough?
Just straight away when I was 13, my mum was like, oh, it's your 13th birthday, you're a teenager now.
Right.
And she gave us a quid to go and get a cake to celebrate it. Went to the supermarket, got a cake, and I just thought, I don't like the look of this. Don't like the look of the way the future is here.
On his 13th birthday!
Well, you were buying a cake, what did you see at the supermarket?
It was kind of like, I don't know, I suddenly felt grown up. I didn't like it.
But I think you were always about 58, really, with your outlook.
Well, yeah, my mum always said I was old. She said I was an old baby. She said I could frown before I could walk. So they always had a bit of a worry look on my face. Didn't say much, just always listened. My eyes moved about more than I did. Just sat there looking around, looking stressed.
My eyes moved about more than I did. Oh dear, couldn't walk. Well, I can't walk, but I'll try and get a bit of movement in my face. It's a workout, a baby workout. Oh, babies, well, if you can't walk, what about your face? Let your face do the walking.
It sounds like that horror film. It sounds like Pilkington's Baby.
Yeah.
Just you lying there in your cot.
I didn't like all the stuff that's set up for you. Like, my mum tried to send me to, like, a nursery. I said, no, I'm not having this.
Just like that.
I said when I'm older and I've got to go, I'll go, but let's leave out this bit. And she said, all right.
I love that he could reason with her. I love him. He's 3 years old with a pipe. She's going, you're going to nursery. She goes, I think not, Mum.
I mean, kids don't play out, do they? Kids, parents are scared to let the kids play out, and that's why the streets are dangerous now. Because no one's playing out on the streets. Whereas when I was a kid, everyone was out on the streets. The streets were safer. Because there was more people knocking about.
Right.
Let the kids play out.
It must be like a constant, like a Larry painting. His front garden. Do you know what I mean? Just loads of people just
There was
walking
never any
around.
problems. I was sort of taken away by some fella.
What? Hang on a minute.
No, I was playing about in the garden.
Yeah.
But my dad's mate Tony,
Yeah.
he did tiling with him. He drove past, and he saw me looking a bit fed up, so he just leant over, picked me up, took me to the pub. Now the thing is, there wasn't panic. People weren't going, "Oh God, where's Carl gone?"
He's out.
Just.
How old were you?
He's down the pub. He's 4 years old, yeah. Well, he's only having a...
He's down the pub with Tony, probably playing darts.
Yeah, I was about 3 or 4.
Sorry, so some bloke drives by who happens to be a friend of your dad's, thinks that baby looks grumpy.
Yeah.
I'm taking him down to the pub.
That's what it was
Tony,
like.
you bringing a baby to the pub? Yeah, I might do, yeah, we'll bring in ours. Alright, see you later, mate.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Whereas now they go, the baby's gone. There's a big full-on panic going
Yeah,
on.
but I think it says more about your parents. They didn't do that. They looked out in the back car and you were gone. Some bloke's driving off in a van. They're just going, oh, well,
We rode down the pub.
doesn't Princess Diana look lovely? This is absurd. So what happened when you got down the pub?
I just was there for a bit, and then
For a bit, just had a game of pool.
when my dad came in, it was like, oh, there you are.
Oh, there you are! I love that! Where's my baby? Go in the door, I'm just gonna have a quick pint. Oh, there you are. Alright, mate.
So, yeah, I think things were better back then.
I met up with my mate Laurie. He said he was in a pub at the weekend and saw a bloke whose hands were on the wrong arms.
No! What do you mean?
Well, he had his left hand on his right arm and the right hand on the left arm. I don't think this would be a problem if he's been like that from an early age. When I was in Ripley's in LA, I saw a bloke whose head was on back to front.
That's more annoying, innit, than your hands. Innit?
Now then, would you walk? How would you walk? Would you be walking backwards, Carl, so that you could walk? So you're basically walking forwards.
I reckon I'd walk sideways so nobody would sort of tell the difference. It just looked like...
Oh, God! He solved it again!
He's thought it through. Ah. Got home and read the magazine. There was a story about a baby that was born that looked like a frog. What magazine's this?
that made the news. That was in a proper newspaper in the end.
It didn't really have a neck or top half of its head. It would look alright if it always wore a scarf and a hat. The world would be a more interesting place if there were loads of different types of humans like there are creatures. Then some people would be good at certain jobs. Spider people, ant people, builders, cockroach people, dustbin men.
Good idea, isn't it?
Fortune Faded by Red Hot Chili Peppers on XFM 104.9 with Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington for the last time.
Yes, we've said that before, of course. So don't get your hopes up.
yeah, we've had some highs, some lows, some laughs, some tears. Karl, you're concentrating. What are you doing?
It's mainly from the audiences.
Yeah. Now, before we get into that, before we get into talking about maybe some of the hijinks we've had, looking back, looking forward as well.
Yeah.
I came in, Karl was sitting at the desk, he went, alright? I went, alright, yeah. He went, see that Alan Clark diaries? I went, no, I didn't. He went, no, a lot of people talking about it. He went, I've never kept a diary. Keeping a diary will always get you into trouble. And I said, like Anne Frank. What did you say, Karl?
The woman in the cupboard?
That's what he said.
The woman in the cupboard.
And I went, save it. Save it.
You never speak to Karl off air. Save it all
I know.
from when we're on the wireless.
He went, but what did she do? What did she do except be in a cupboard? What did she have to write about? And I said, well, her thoughts. Do you know Anne Frank?
That's all I know about Anne is. There's no point pretending it.
Anne!
That I know stuff.
Yeah.
Right,
Well, tell us everything you know about Anne Frank.
she was in a cupboard.
Yeah, what else?
If she didn't do that, I wouldn't know about her, seriously. That's all I know about her.
Yeah.
So what did she do?
But what do you how do you think we know? We know about her cupboard because of her book, don't we?
But hang on, what, in the bigger scheme of things, why was she in a cupboard?
I don't know.
Right.
I honestly don't know.
You don't know anything else about Anne Frank beyond the fact that, to quote you, she was in a cupboard.
Well, what's she done then? You tell me, why should I know more about her?
Firstly, I don't think she was in a cupboard.
She wasn't in a cupboard. She was in an attic.
Alright.
Yeah.
So what was she doing?
She was hiding from the
Tidying
Nazis. She was hiding from the Nazis.
Well, isn't that the first place they'd look? Sort of... work from the top down.
Carl, they weren't specifically looking for Anne Frank.
They weren't going, where is she?
Where's Franker?
If she gets that book out, we are in deep shit. We've got to stop the book. They were just looking generally. She was, I think she was 13, 14, she was hiding, she was Jewish and she was hiding, lived in Amsterdam, didn't she?
Yeah, as much of her family were having to hide, being helped by, you know, friends, non-Jewish.
In a cupboard. Cupboards, you know.
And how long did she sort of hide up there for?
Until she was caught.
Long enough to write a book.
So she even got caught after all that?
What do you mean, so she even got caught? We're talking about one of the great, you know, humanist tragedies of our times, and you're going, she couldn't even stay hidden.
What do you mean, did she get caught?
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, it's not a great tip then, is it? Do you know what I mean? She didn't do it well. She didn't hide until they escaped it. She got
diaries are not a manual on how to hide from people. It's not how to win at
I don't know anything about her, and we might be going down some ground that's a bit dodgy. I don't know enough about it. Maybe it's best just leaving it. All I was saying is diaries, you know, what do you do them for? Have you kept one, Steve?
Never kept a diary, no.
Right.
I can understand your fear that it might get discovered, someone might read it, find out all about your inner secrets. Of course, the good thing about you is you tell everyone what you think about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
no one's gonna find a diary and go, oh god.
I can't believe it, Carl doesn't like my haircut.
Yeah. Carl thinks I look like Dave Hill from Slade. Yeah, I told you that, didn't I? Yeah, I told you that.
Do you think they'll last, though, diaries and that? No, because they were a bit of a time killer, weren't they? It was something to do at the end of the day, whereas now there's iPods and that. You know what I mean?
It's fantastic! The iPod of Anne Frank.
Yeah,
new from Sony, that'd be great, wouldn't it? All the greatest hits. Who could forget? Oh,
well,
dear.
leave that then. I didn't know it was that deep, I thought it was just like a, you know...
You thought it was like, didn't you?
Adrian Mole type thing. Yeah, what are we doing?
Thorns, from my favourite album of last year, that. And, I can't remember. We'll be doing a bit of that, playing some of our favourite songs. We've, got a couple of requests.
Oh,
in fact,
really?
yeah, one of the celebrity requests, Matt Lucas from, Little Britain, is listening in.
Oh, yeah.
So it's your last show? I said, yeah. And I said, do you want me to play a record? And he said, what's your favourite group? Guess Matt Lucas's favourite group. Now remember, him and David are the new darlings of comedy.
Yeah.
They're cool, they're trendy, everyone loves Little Britain. They're comedy geniuses, they're only gonna get bigger. What's his favourite group of all time?
That is tricky. Level 42.
No. Carl, have a guess.
Well, there's gonna be something weird in it if you're saying this.
Well.
So, how old's the band?
They're probably about as old as him.
How old is he?
No. Oh, Carl, have a guess.
ABBA.
No, it's, why did you say ABBA?
They're good, aren't they?
No, it's the Proclaimers.
The Proclaimers?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And I know he's listening, but, you know.
There's nothing wrong with the Proclaimers, I just can't imagine anyone getting that excited about them.
I bet that's why he likes you, because you hang out with him, don't you?
I don't hang out with him.
He thinks
it's
like the closest thing he knows one of the Proclaimers.
Wait till he meets my twin brother.
Yeah, yeah, he's gonna have a field day,
He
isn't
won't
he?
believe it.
Yeah. So I was honest, I said, I can't play the Proclaimers, but we're playing another.
Where did they come? Because I don't really remember the Proclaimers particularly from when I was young.
Well, let me give you a little blast. I give a little but in two-part harmony.
Of course.
That was the main
They were
thing.
very popular for a while, weren't they?
I think they had, sort of 3 big hits in sort of about 1980. When was it?
Yeah. Oh, I forget.
80s.
Scottish. They did sing in Scottish accents, which I thought was quite refreshing. They didn't do the fake American thing.
No, that was good. Yeah.
But again, I just can't imagine sort of being in that. When would I be in the mood to put on a Proclaimers record?
When you've run out of Crankies stuff, I
I
suppose.
guess so, yeah.
If you've played all your Crankies records, there's,
and the
you know,
Muppets album.
Yeah, pop on the Proclaimers. Now, we were talking before the break about, Anne Frank in her cupboard.
Yes.
Now,
I'm still a little bit concerned that Carl's not quite got his head around Anne Frank's diary.
Yeah.
It's not like a children's book, it's not like The Lion, Anne Frank and the Wardrobe.
no.
Doesn't go into a fantasy land when she goes into the attic.
I'm just glad that old Mother Hubbard didn't help the Nazis.
Sure.
Because that's the first place she'd look.
Yeah.
Isn't it? The Nazis go, we've got on with her, but she thinks she knows where she is.
Yeah.
She'd have gone straight there.
I think with Hubbard, it's like, if I just briefly mentioned Hubbard. Now Hubbard goes to the cupboard to get, I can't remember exactly.
Her poor dog a bone.
She goes to get a dog
the dog
a bone, but when she got there,
the cupboard was
bare, and so the poor dog had none.
Is there more to that than because that's all I remember. Is there further verses? Does she finally get a bone? Does she go on an adventure?
Oh, what, you mean the second verse is, then she looked in the fridge and realised that's where she kept the bones, and so the dog was laughing.
Exactly.
No, there isn't another verse.
There's not, that's all of it.
I think so. I went to the cupboard to get a bone. When she got there, the cupboard was bare, and so the poor dog had none. No, I think that's the end of it. I think it's a moral. I think it's a moral that,
What's the moral?
Well, if you got a dog, keep some bones in the cupboard.
Right. Because I always, even as a kid, I remember thinking that it's quite a tragic sort of picture they paint. I imagine maybe she's lost
short, isn't it?
It is short.
It's over, isn't it? That's amazing.
But I always wondered whether perhaps she's had a nervous breakdown. Maybe her husband's died recently. She's just not got any food
She doesn't know. She
doesn't really know what's going on. The dog's, yapping away. Eventually, she kind of wakes out of this kind of depressed stupor. She goes to the cupboard. There's nothing there. It's just a really depressing, morbid sort of tale. I don't know if maybe it's originated from something in history. I know that Jack and Jill went up the hill and they fell down again.
That's a story about illicit lovers.
That was apparently based on that. And obviously, Ring a Ring of Roses. It dates back to plague times, so I don't know about Hubbard. Humpty Dumpty, not so sure about this. This is something I remember as a kid thinking, at what point was it decided that Humpty Dumpty was a giant Eggman?
I don't know.
Because there's nothing in the actual rhyme. There's no actually, it's not Humpty Dumpty,
it's not,
the Eggman carnival.
I don't know. My concern is more, his parents were a little bit cruel, because if you are the Dumpties of, say, Surrey, don't call your firstborn Humpty.
Yeah.
Because straight away, it's going to be embarrassing for him at school, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know what I'm just saying, I'm trying to go, is that it as well?
That's all of it.
Oh,
and also, I don't mean to be pedantic, because I know it's a children's
Is it like an Edward Lear thing, or that's before that, is it?
But I don't mean to be pedantic again, but if you've got a giant Eggman and he's fallen into bits, all the King's men, fine, they're there, they can piece that together again. Don't send horses in.
No, because
that's just a whole eggy, horsey mess.
No, they're gonna make it worse.
They're just gonna be standing on it.
They are gonna make it worse.
It's not a great idea.
Standing on it, get the horse out of the way. No, he's definitely not.
But again, maybe I'm sure some of the, the mental people...
Is it pre-Lewis Carroll or... If it's Lewis Carroll, it just came with the illustration.
I guess so.
He gave it to someone to illustrate, illustrate Humpty Dumpty, he goes, we've made him an egg.
Yeah, a sort of egg with eyes and a face.
Yeah!
I suppose, because the moral of that is, if you're fragile, if you're an enormous egg,
Mr. Dumpty, I'll get down from the wall, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because, I'll tell you what, there'll be no medical...
ways to happen.
Yeah.